We also have laws of the universe. The term laws of the universe refers to fundamental principles or rules that govern the behavior and operation of the physical universe. These laws are based on empirical observations, mathematical formulations, and scientific theories. While our understanding of these laws is constantly evolving as scientific knowledge progresses, here are some key laws and principles that are widely accepted. Newton's laws of motion. These laws describe the relationship between an object and the forces acting upon it. They include a. The law of inertia. An object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion unless acted upon by an external force. b. The relationship between force, mass, and acceleration. Force equals mass times acceleration. c. The principle of action and reaction. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Law of universal gravitation, proposed by Isaac Newton. This law states that every particle of matter attracts every other particle with a force that is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Laws of thermodynamics. These laws describe the behavior of energy and heat transfer. They include a. The first law of thermodynamics, law of energy conservation. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred or converted from one form to another. b. The second law of thermodynamics, the entropy, disorder, of a closed system tends to increase over time. It also establishes the concept of heat flowing spontaneously from hot to cold objects. Electromagnetic laws. a. Maxwell's equations. These equations describe the behavior of electric and magnetic fields and their relationship to each other and the sources that generate them. b. Coulomb's law. This law describes the force between two charged particles, which is proportional to the product of their charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Quantum mechanics. Quantum mechanics is a branch of physics that deals with phenomena at the atomic and subatomic levels. It has its own set of laws and principles, including the wave-particle duality, uncertainty principle, and quantization of energy. Theory of general relativity, proposed by Albert Einstein. This theory describes the gravitational force in terms of the curvature of spacetime caused by mass and energy. It explains the behavior of gravity on a cosmic scale and provides a framework for understanding the structure and evolution of the universe. It's important to note that our understanding of the laws of the universe is constantly evolving, and new discoveries and theories may lead to modifications or extensions of these existing laws in the future. While the previous response focused on the Ten Commandments from the Abrahamic traditions, it's important to note that other religions have their own sets of commandments or ethical guidelines. Here are a few examples. 1. Hinduism. Ahimsa, the principle of non-violence and non-injury towards all living beings. Satya, the principle of truthfulness and honesty. Asteya, the principle of non-stealing and non-coveting. Brahmacharya, the principle of self-control, including celibacy or moderation in sensual pleasures. Aparigraha, the principle of non-possessiveness and non-greed. 2. Buddhism. The Five Precepts. These are guidelines for ethical conduct that include refraining from killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, false speech, and the use of intoxicants. The Noble Eightfold Path. This path includes principles such as right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. 3. Jainism. Ahimsa, the principle of non-violence towards all living beings. Satya, the principle of truthfulness. Asteya, the principle of non-stealing. Brahmacharya, the principle of chastity, celibacy, or moderation in sensual pleasures. Aparigraha, the principle of non-possessiveness and non-attachment. 4. Sikhism. Nam Japna, the practice of meditating on and reciting the name of God. Karat Karni, the principle of honest and diligent labor. Van Chakna, the principle of sharing with others and practicing selfless service. Nam Simran, the practice of remembering and meditating on God's name. Hukam, the acceptance of God's will and living in accordance with it. Love is a universal concept that is valued and celebrated in various religions around the world. While interpretations and expressions of love may differ across different religious traditions, here are some examples of the concept of love in a few major religions. Love. In Christianity, agape. In Christianity, agape refers to selfless, unconditional love. It is considered the highest form of love and is often associated with God's love for humanity and the commandment to love one's neighbor as oneself. Islam. Ishq is an Arabic term used in Sufi poetry to describe a deep, passionate love for God and the divine. It involves a yearning and longing for union with the divine beloved. Hinduism. Bhakti. Bhakti is the devotional love and surrender to a chosen deity or deities in Hinduism. It involves a deep emotional connection, reverence, and devotion to God. Buddhism. Metta, or loving kindness, is a central concept in Buddhism. It involves cultivating a boundless and unconditional love and compassion for all beings, wishing them well-being and happiness. Sikhism. Prem. Prem is the term used in Sikhism to denote divine love. It is a selfless, unconditional love for God and all of God's creation, emphasizing compassion, equality, and service to others. Judaism. Ahava. Ahava is the Hebrew word for love in Judaism. It encompasses different types of love, including the love between humans, love for God, and God's love for His people. These examples highlight that different religions have their own unique sets of commandments, principles, or guidelines that followers are encouraged to follow to lead a virtuous and ethical life. These principles often emphasize compassion, truthfulness, self-control, and the pursuit of spiritual growth. Kindness in other religion. Kindness is a universal value that is emphasized in many different religions. Here are some examples of the concept of kindness in various religious traditions. Christianity. The Golden Rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. This principle encourages Christians to treat others with kindness, compassion, and love. Islam. Ihsan. Ihsan is the concept of excellence or perfection in Islam. It involves showing kindness, benevolence, and doing good to others, as exemplified by the teachings and actions of the Prophet Muhammad. Hinduism. Ahimsa. Ahimsa, often translated as non-violence, is a core principle in Hinduism. It extends to kindness towards all living beings and advocates for compassionate actions and thoughts. Buddhism. Karuna. Karuna is the Pali word for compassion, which is a fundamental principle in Buddhism. It involves having kindness and empathy towards all beings and striving to alleviate their suffering. Sikhism. Daya. Daya, meaning compassion or kindness, is highly valued in Sikhism. Sikhs are encouraged to show kindness, mercy, and generosity to all beings, irrespective of their backgrounds. Judaism. Gemilut Chasidam. Gemilut Chasidam, meaning acts of loving kindness, is an important principle in Judaism. It involves performing acts of kindness and helping others in need. Jainism.